If there would be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there would be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there would be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there would be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there would be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. On this fourth Sunday of our annual series, where we try to learn to bend the arc of the universe more toward justice, we come to the fourth layer of these teachings. If there would be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. Each of these layers of wisdom we have considered has carried us deeper into the core source of the peace we seek. We've moved from the world to the nation, to the city, to the neighbors, and now we arrive at that door of the most potent and often peculiar aspect of our human predicament, the home. If there would be peace anywhere in this wide universe we travel, there must be peace in the home, we are taught. Man, this is a tough one. Home is a place we first learn to work out being human. And working out how to be human is very often not a peaceful process at all. Eastern traditions hold that we choose the homes that we are born into for the teachings we need and the learning we are to bring. Like any other matter of faith or philosophy, we can't prove that, but boy, howdy, my life sure seems more often than not to be proof. Because they save the hardest lessons for home. Now mix this reality with the illusions that so many of us were taught about how home ought to be. This works if you're talking about the home you're born into, the home that you have helped create, the home of your spiritual life, the home of your community. We measure ourselves against these unreasonable projections of what home ought to be, and we find ourselves brewing with confusion and doubt, sadness and anger, and worst of all, shame. Every era features some version of the perfect home that no home could hope to live up to, at least not except for moments and some periods of time. And these images of what the perfect home should be are projected into our imperfect homes by the media, which is created for lots of reasons. But what they have shown us is fathers that don't lose their temper, mothers that do dishes in high heels and stockings, homes with floors you could eat from, families that operate fairly. Impossible measures for anyone, anywhere, and yet we buy into it at some level, and we live in the shame that we're not that, when we never could have been that in the first place. For my parents, it was Ozzie and Harriet and the Donna Reed Show. And Bonanza. Variety magazine lists some 20 television shows that shaped perceptions of the American home. Shows like The Brady Bunch and Family Ties, Leave It to Beaver, The Wonder Years, Mayberry RFD, 8 is Enough, over and over again. Some newer ones update family structures and dynamics a bit, but they still too often stoke unrealistic expectations. Everybody Loves Raymond, Modern Family, Parenthood, The Middle. A few dare to bring the lives of families of color to the screen in more reasonable ways. Black-ish is brilliant. Fresh Off the Boat is too. But it's still TV. Now, I'm not alone in this room, I think, in confessing that I totally fell for This Is Us. Now, there is a postmodern family presented with postmodern troubles, but it's still television, and they still resolve it enough that we can live with it by the end. Enough for us to wish that our own family challenges could be so tended efficiently, finally, with a nice ribbon. When I was a kid, the perfect family on television was The Waltons. Who remembers The Waltons? An extended 3-generation family of wise elders and only slightly mischievous children, and reasonable, fair, rational parents in between. They were a beautiful working farm and pillars of their community, all these generations under one roof. Now, for those of you who never saw it or don't remember, every episode ended with the family all going to bed, all wishing each other good night in turn as all the lights went out. Good night, Mama, Papa. Good night, Grandma. Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Ben. Good night, Elizabeth. Good night, Jason. Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, John Boy. Cut to credits. The world's problems in the family matters solved for a week. Funny how nobody ever seemed to go to bed in a huff. Or if they did, by the time they got to good night, John Boy, they were cured. My family wasn't. So if it still pains you that your home was not like the Waltons or any of those other ideals, does it help to know that nobody's was? And if the home you made for yourself also isn't like those ideals, well, again, nobody's is. And if you had to leave your birth or birthing home altogether to save yourself, body or mind or spirit, so did a great many of us in this room. Or maybe you wanted to stay, but because you insisted on being exactly who you are, it was made impossible for you to stay. You, dear ones, are also not alone in this room. And then because we are human beings, we follow that human urge to build a home of some kind, a family of some shape, a constellation of connection and kindness, some souls we can trust to rejoice with us in gladness and weep with us in our sadness and catch us when we fall. We go about making families we choose out of homes of our own design. So let me tell you, you know that old axiom, blood is thicker than water? I am here to bear witness this morning that it ain't necessarily so. Not when the blood is toxic, and not when the water offers us life and hope and healing. This life-giving water is what some of us find in religious community. What many of us have found here in this community. This place we can come as we are and feel called to become who we will be. Where we can bring ourselves, in whatever shape we're in, be welcomed. To be our truest self, even when and especially when we ourselves don't even know who that is. We don't promise to have all the answers, but we vow to help one another find them as we travel this faith path together. Now, this is not to say that we won't mess up. We are not a perfect family either. We will mess up. We have messed up. We'll mess up again because we try hard and we try big. There is no failure. There is only learning. We pick one another up. Notice I said pick one another up, not just ourselves. We pick one another up and we begin again in love. We learn to forgive in new ways, and we keep our eye on the vision of who and what and how this place has set out to be from its very beginning, against all odds. This place we mean to make peace, this sanctuary of our souls. If there would be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. And so this morning, in this home, we are going to plant a peace garden right out here in front of our doors. The centerpiece is this peace pole, the language of peace, 4 languages. In 4 languages it says, may peace prevail on earth. The languages we chose for our River of Grass peace pole are English, Spanish, Hebrew, and Seminole. Now, the Seminole plaque is not here because it didn't arrive in time. So we're going to plant it anyway in faith that that plaque will arrive and we will attach it to the pole. Today our peace pole joins 200,000 others and more in more than 180 countries, planted by people of goodwill all around the world. There's one at the magnetic North Pole in Canada. There's one at the Angkor Wat in Cambodia. There's one in Sarajevo. There's one in Hiroshima. There's one at the Pyramids of Giza. There's one at the grave of Confucius in Taiwan. The Peace Pole Project was started by the World Peace Prayer Society, founded in Japan in 1955, headquartered now in New York. The poles themselves are made at a shop in the woods of northern Michigan, crafted from red cedar and organic plant resins to be environmentally friendly. Both the pole and its shop are certified green. Our River of Grass Peace Garden is a project of the 4 Seas Covenant Group. Karen Gonzalez will share with us more about how they came to choose this gift for this place at this time.
Can I have the 4 Seas Covenant women stand up? Be recognized, because this is a group effort. Four C's: communication, community, connection, comfort. This is the 4 Seas Covenant Group, a place of refuge, a place of support, and a place where deep conversation leads us to the unexpected. We feel blessed to have this little niche within our River of Grass home and recently decided it was time for us to give back to our beloved community. It began with the idea of placing a peace pole outside our front doors so that our message could reach a wider audience. When we realized that we were approaching the anniversary of the tragedy in Parkland, we felt compelled to include a memorial around our prayers for peace. We reached out to the greater community for assistance and were gifted with 17 lilies from Field of Flowers and rich soil and mulch from Alexander's Plant Farm. As we wish for peace to prevail on earth, we remember that it must begin in our homes, reach out to our neighbors and into our towns and into our schools. May it be so.
So today we will plant our peace garden, that there may be more peace in the world as we grow more peace in our home, in this beloved community. Here's what we're going to do. See the pole? You see the lilies? You might have seen as you came by that the planter beds in the front have already been cultivated. They're ready. My farmer granddaddy used to say, never plant good stuff in a bad hole. Made some really good holes out there. On the tables right here in front of us are rocks and markers and paints. In just a moment, we're going to ask our youngins to come up and decorate these rocks with hearts, maybe flowers if they want. Or you use whatever they want. That we can also place these rocks in our peace gardens, in our peace garden as remembrance of this day when we vowed to grow more peace. So, youngins, as you draw your hearts, be thinking about your wishes for peace in your heart, in your homes, in your neighborhoods, in your cities, in your world. And bless these rocks with your wishes for peace. Grown-ups, do not despair. You too can decorate rocks. We have some up here, we have some in hospitality. When you're done, just leave your rocks on the tables, and tomorrow we're going to shellac them to seal in your blessings before we place them in our peace garden with our peace pole and our lilies. Youngins, come on up. Bring your wishes for peace. Imagine how it feels. Leave that feeling in your love rock. Blood? Or is it drawn from bond? Did it come from your DNA? Or is it woven brand new in your heart? Is it the place you physically live? Or is it this place you spiritually live? Is it built of walls and doors, or of covenants and community? Is it a place of peace? If it is, what will you do to sustain it, to feed it, that it may endure? And if it isn't, what might you do to make it so? In just a minute, we're going to have a peace parade. We're going to need a couple of muscles to come take this beautiful thing. And we're going to need 17 folks to grab 17 lilies. And we're going to sing our way out front, gather around as we plant these things, and then place a blessing upon our peace garden that the world may be a more peaceful place today for the ways we live, for the faith we follow.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like an ocean. I've got peace like an ocean. I've got peace like an ocean in my soul.
For storm purposes. I was concerned when you announced that. I'm like,
May this peace garden represent our faith. May it represent our way forward. May we vow to be this people in every language. May we live the language of peace. May we be the language of peace. May we make peace within ourselves that there may be peace within the world. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth.
May peace prevail on earth.
May peace prevail on earth.
May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth.
May it ever be so. Amen and amen. Aho and ashe. Namaste. Blessed be. And so it is. I've got peace
Like a river, I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul.
in my soul. Yes.
Yisra Shalom Alei Adamot.